Hello, my name is Atem Astotangab and welcome to the Alexa Network Foundation. Today I'm going to show you guys how to install and configure Windows 11 in Hyper-V Manager. For us to get started, you want to click on the new virtual machine, and then from this box is where we do most of the work before we power up the machine. So let's give this machine a name. I'm going to name mine Alexa Network Foundation, ANF1007. And then you can store this data in a different location if you want. That's up to you. I'm going to define it as a default. That way I can come back and search the data if I want. Next, you get to select if you want generation 1 or if you want to use generation 2. I go with generation 2 just because of the fact that you get the new version of the visualization features as well. So let's select generation 2. This is up to you, so there's no leeway on what you have to do here. So I like to leave this as default, or you can go higher. I think if you do go lower than 4,000, you might run into crash issues with your virtual machine. So you can go higher, but I wouldn't recommend going lower. This is where you get to choose if you want the machine to be able to connect to the internet or not. I like to go with the default switch. That way it's using the same network interface as my actual host machine, which is this network right here. So let's go to the next. And right here, most of the time, most people would have multiple options as far as internal or external network based on how your network is configured. So let's click on next. This is where you get to select if you want to make a new virtual hard disk, or if you want to create something that's already existed, or if you want to select from this, if you want to make one letter. Let's make one right now. As you can see, this name is the name I gave my computer earlier, and that name is really the hard disk or the hard drive name, because once we have this up and running within the Windows machine, when we start to configure the machine, we'll give the machine an actual name. So let's click. As you can see also here, I have my memory space like already or has been allocated for me already, or the minimum space has been allocated for me already. So um, remember this number, you're gonna see it once we start to configure the machine. Alright, let's install the ISO right now rather than do it later. I'm gonna use this one. And then next, as you can see, this is a summary of what we did, and then finish. Before we power up this virtual machine, let's click on settings and then go to security. You want to make sure you have this enabled, or else your machine won't start. You're gonna run into multiple issues. Okay, and then let's move on to configuring the machine. This might take longer than expected, so just keep watching. Let's get started here. Once the virtual machine gets up and is powering on and configuring, I'm gonna mute my mic. That way you guys can just go and watch, and then I'll be back once the next steps are up and ready to go. So let's give it next here, installed. I'm open to any question anyone might have. So on this window, you can either enter the product key, or you can do this letter. I'm gonna do this letter because that's kind of a privacy issue. So let's go ahead and click I don't have product key, and then select what version of window you have based on your ISO installation. So let's go ahead and click on next, and then you're gonna accept some legal paperwork here. I'm gonna go to advanced. That 127 I mentioned earlier, that is a disk space that we did earlier. So we're gonna do next there, and that installation is gonna go ahead and begin. I'm gonna mute my mic, and then I'll be back once we hit finishing up. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Alright guys, as you can see, everything is up and running. Give it some time, give your Hyper-V to go ahead and get started again. This is where we start to configure the laptop or the machine interface as far as the machine name, what you want the machine to do, and other aspect of things. Who is the owner of the machine? Do you want the machine to be on a server? Do you want the machine to run on Microsoft platform? So give it some time for everything to get set up and settle. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and type that down on the comments, and also give us some like and share if you find this video helpful. On the next video, I'm gonna take you guys on how to use safe mode booting as far as with networking, or to shut down, to enter safe mode, to go ahead and create scheduling wake time, all using CMD. Just some cybersecurity features and tasks and tips on how to keep your computer secured and everything. As soon as we're done with this one here, this is gonna take some time, so bear with me. All right, that machine is coming up. Give it time. It's thinking, and we only give it 4,000 megabytes of RAM. That's equivalent to roughly 4 to 5 gigabytes of RAM. Not much. So the machine's gonna go kind of slow. So that's kind of why. All right. Okay, everything is powering up. As you can see, it's running kind of slow based on the RAM size we give it. I'm gonna click yes here, and then yes, US, skip. We don't have to add a second keyboard layer. The flickering definitely indicates that the machine is running on a very low amount of RAM. Usually I would skip all this process, but um, I, I decided to go with the whole thing. That way you guys can see, really see what happened behind the scenes. Or if you do run into an issue, type it down on the comments and I will respond back to you as soon as I can, or as soon as I see your question. If you run into an issue, if you run into a networking issue, if you run into a command issue, just let me know down in the comment. All right, guys, I'm gonna click on sign in options. I'm gonna click on join a domain instead. That way I can create a local account. And then let's go with that. I'm gonna click on it's gonna be the name of that local account. Okay, the name of the PC. Okay, I'm gonna put my name. It's gonna be that's gonna go ahead and create me a local account, give me access to the computer. That takes some time, and as you can see, the Windows account is being created. And from there, we can go ahead and begin to use our Windows machine to do some cybersecurity configurations within the machine, as far as entering safe mode, and also how to exit safe mode, and also how to put the machine on sleep using CMD, how to power off hibernation using CMD to do some. As I said, my name is Atem Tangap. Thanks for watching, and hope you tune in again into the Alexa Network Foundation.